transfers its Israeli embassy to the disputed city of Jerusalem. These and more stories coming ahead in this half hour. I am Ibrahim Jata. We begin with the President, His Excellency Adam Barrow, who visited proposed sites for a bridge in Basse and another one in Fatoto set to link both banks of the Upper River region. The project is seen as a major breakthrough for the new government, which has made infrastructural transformation a top priority. We'll bring you that story later in the bulletin. Moving on and staying with the executive, the Vice President Ajah Fatumata Jallow Tambajang presided over the launch of the Youth and Trade Roadmap. The latest blueprint moving to empower youths and women is designed by the International Trade Center in partnership with government of the Gambia. The design of the roadmap includes public agencies, the business community, training institutions, and youths across the country. Aminata Sanyang has this story.
It is moved towards this goal. The new government has partnered with the International Trade Center to design a special youth and trade roadmap to boost youth engagement and employment.
This is yet another milestone in the history of the Gambia to launch a project whose ultimate goal is to empower the young people by providing them with much needed requisite knowledge and skills for self and national development. The roadmap we are launching today will go a long way in addressing some, if not all, the challenges faced by the youths, such as illegal migration, unemployment, crimes, lack of education, and as well as the lack of skills.
Development programs for young people have been mostly ambitious but difficult to implement. The newly proposed roadmap aims to tackle the root causes of youth unemployment and build competitive market constraints to curb irregular migration.
If you do not have a good map, if you don't have a compass, it's going to take you much longer, and you may simply miss the opportunities that are in front of you. So the first thing we all did collectively is sit down. Sit down and start this process of answering these questions. We talked to businesses, to companies, over 110 companies in the combos, in Basse, all across the country. We consulted with all of you producers, exporters, technical agencies, training institutions, representatives from ministries, and of course, hundreds and hundreds of students and young entrepreneurs.
Agriculture remains one of the best responses to attaining goals such as poverty and unemployment challenge faced by the youth of this country. The roadmap and the Youth Empowerment Project will work alongside each other to complement and help young people engage in gainful activities to restore economic growth.
The roadmap is a comprehensive market-led blueprint to increase the productive capacities and competitiveness of the three priority sectors with the highest potential to create employment opportunities for youth. First, this includes agro-processing to move from subsistence agriculture into formally structured agricultural production and commercialization capacities that will enable youth to have a greater chance to engage in agro-value chains and trade.
The European Union has been rendering support and providing guidance for many Gambian youth with schemes supporting initiatives like the current Youth Empowerment Project and newly launched Youth and Trade Roadmap.
This quality piece of work has been done following the YEP spirit. That is to say, through a very participative and consultative process, catching the voices of all stakeholders, private and public, and above all, the voices of the youth in the Gambia.
Launching the strategic roadmap, the Vice President of the Gambia called on the young people to shy away from the complaint syndrome and seize vital opportunities for development.
Our new National Development Plan, as I earlier stated, addresses the pressing social and economic challenges of the country. Youth empowerment is part of the 8 strategic priorities of the plan, which ensures that no youth is left behind because through this way, we can transform the Gambia into a progressive, vibrant and all-inclusive society in which youth will realize their potentials.
The event also witnessed the signing of a new partnership agreement between GIZ, ITC and GTTI. Since it involves young people and tapping talents, prominent young poets Omar Cham and Keba Bay are using poetry to send positive messages to the youth, government and other institutions involved in the current drive to meaningfully engage young people. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Aminata East.
A busy day of launching events there. Now earlier, the Vice President, Madam Fatoumata Jallow Tambajang, also held talks with women in the business arena. The important launching of the Sea Trades movement also coincided with this meeting, seeking to highlight the challenges faced by women in business. Now, moving on to new turf, activities marking World Meteorology Day have been characterized by capacity-building forums aimed at raising expertise on standardization and mass measurement for enterprises and industrial stakeholders in the country. Kumbaba has the story.
The Standard Bureau is mandated to provide capacity building and calibration services for enterprises and industries in the Gambia. This training is designed to enhance institutions to better understand metric system in order to maintain accurate reference standard and as well adopt best practices to meet international scientific standards.
We take a lot of time, we take a lot of interest and also fund programs such as this one. And we've been doing it every year. And it's the first of the steps, first of the activities that we conduct among a variety of activities that we have outlined to celebrate World Meteorology Day. And in today's session, our meteorology experts at the National Meteorology Laboratory will show you, as already highlighted by the chairperson, various important skills that you need to have in place to be able to have valid results in your measurement, such as good measurement practices and how to do your calibrations and calibrations plans. So there will be a lot of practical exercises, and that is why we made the group very small, because we want to ensure that by the end of the day, you take along some useful skills that you can use immediately. And they are around also to support you as well.
Ismail Jadama, a meteorologist, highlighted the significance of metrology, which he said has an element of harmonization in the health sector and other related areas.
The activities in metrology also ensures that the measurements that we carry out are within specified degrees of accuracy. And the key word here is accuracy. The key word is accuracy. We will look into accuracy in subsequent slides. Not only accurate, but also adequate and reliable. So this is how important metrology is. When you remove all these key elements, you lack quality in your service delivery or manufacturing process.
Participants at the training expressed gratitude to the Gambia Standard Bureau for spearheading this crucial training, which they said will have a positive impact on their work.
There is added advantage because it's improved understanding how to calibrate and measure certain equipment in the lab, which is very significant in our department because we are dealing with fuel. Sometimes our measurements in the lab, we are thermometers for temperatures, hydrometers for densities. It's very important to have some understanding how to go about them in the labs.
I'm very glad to be part of this program because this is the first time of attending this type of training in my work. I used to do calibration and all of sort of things, but this is the first time of attending this type of training. It will add weight on my work.
The day-long training is expected to strengthen participants' knowledge in mass measurement and calibration services, thereby enabling them to perform better to meet international standards. Reporting for GRTS News.
On family and international literacy and learning in the Gambia is underway at the Paradise Hotel. The forum is aimed at promoting family literacy and learning. Samuel Barr tells us more.
The forum is organized by the UNESCO Institute for Lifelong Learning and the National Commission for UNESCO Banjul. The objective is to support effective literary practices and encourage the promotion of literate societies.
This program is part of the UIL, that is the UNESCO Institute of Learning, Family Literacy and Learning Project, which supports selected sub-Saharan countries in advancing the Education 2030 agenda through exploring possibilities to pilot and evaluate the implementation of the family literacy and learning programs as an effective strategy to enhance literacy, instruction and learning of both adults and children.
Close to 40 representatives from the basic and secondary education subsector are attending the seminar. Early childhood, primary education, as well as key partners involved in literacy work were also present.
Learning to read and write is a fundamental right. Yet 38% of African adults, which makes about 153 million, are illiterate, and 2/3 of those are women. Africa is the only continent where more than half of parents are not able to help their children with their homework due to illiteracy.
Ms. Rahat of the UNESCO Institute for Lifelong Learning outlined the benefits of intergenerational family literacy.
Our institute has been working in this field for the last 2 decades or even more, having had experiences in Europe and some of the African countries. We'd like to extend and expand our outreach to test out this approach's capability as well as potential in reaching out those adults as well as children who haven't been given opportunities to do so for now.
The Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education is committed to promoting literacy and family learning through a number of strategies.
The Adult and Non-Formal Education Unit will continue to widen participation opportunities by strengthening the capacity of civil society groups to permit outsourcing to community-based organizations and NGOs. The benefit will be the advantage of mobilizing indigenous talents and resources. The capacities of the unit will be built to coordinate, supervise, monitor, and evaluate this component of basic education.
This technical workshop forms part of UNESCO's renewed interest in promoting literacy skills to close the global literacy gap of 750 million people. Samuel Bach, GRTS.
And now to a headline-making story. Partnering with the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, the Student Association of the Public and Environmental Health has commemorated UN Global Road Safety Week. The initiative, as Senabu Jani report, seeks to raise awareness on road safety by interventions such as slowing down to make roads safer for children and the public at large.
Public health students are calling special attention to road safety and problems increasingly making our highways unsafe for both drivers and commuters. Making road safety everyone's business, and slogans that say "slow down, your family is waiting for you at home" were the key messages of the day, which began with a march past in Birkama. Road Safety Week is celebrated every year from the 14th to the 18th of May to raise awareness on the growing traffic insecurity, irresponsible driving, endangering the lives of children and commuters around the world. Mortala Mohammed Sise, the Vice President of the School of Public and Environmental Health, reminded public health students of their duty to sensitize the nation about road safety, stressing that when it comes to ensuring road safety, prevention is the only way to go.
So it is important that, we got to celebrate Road Safety Week, discuss about, the challenges that we are going to face or the challenges that we are already facing.
For Professor Rex Kui, head of the UTG's Public Health Department, the amount of lives lost on our roads is a cause for critical concern in the Gambia.
But you will agree with me that road crashes in the Gambia are going up. Just about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think I learned that 2 or 3 of our student nurses lost their life on the road going home. Not to mention all the other road crashes that occur in this country.
The Superintendent and Public Relations Officer for the Gambia Police Force, David Kajabi, underscored that road accidents have seen a particular rise, with recent ones taking a fatal nature They supersede the occurrence of minor and non-injury accidents. 31 fatal accidents have already been registered in a total of 188 accidents in 2018.
The Motor Traffic Act, under sections 47, 48, 49, and 51, gives provisions and guiding principles to all persons driving motor vehicles on any public highway whilst in the Gambia. Research conducted on the road traffic accidents or crashes have shown that there are three major causes of road accidents. These are namely human factors, mechanical factors, and environmental factors. It is not only the drivers who have a stake in it. You have the drivers, you have the passengers, you have the pedestrians. It in fact includes all road users. We all have a stake in it.
Poor infrastructure is another cause for concern and one of the main reasons of road traffic accidents, according to Lamin Sabali, the president of the Birkama Garage. UTG lecturer Amadou Baro later delivered a special traffic presentation highlighting the statistics of the road traffic accidents across the country. Palmodunjai believes that road safety is a vital aspect of development that cannot be ignored.
Now we keep college here mainly because of Road Safety Week, which is the celebration that they're doing. We participated because we were invited, but then we've started that initiative a long time. We've got a change of management at the car park, and the new management took it upon themselves to give drivers the education that they require. Well, for a start, at least to save life. The first and foremost thing that we did is that we've provided them with traffic signs in all the car parks within Brikama. We're sensitizing them, we're teaching them the various traffic signs.
Sensitization plays a critical role, and students are looking to especially make Road Safety Week a moment to bring about positive change and headways in road safety. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Sinabu Jain.
Awarding cause for intervention there. Now still staying with global commemorations, Red Cross Day celebrations in the Gambia took a different turn this time around, with a colorfully busy day of commemoration starting at the Red Cross building, where the National Bantaba Commission was launched. Our Mudujan reports that elsewhere in Brikama, Red Cross volunteers were also rewarded for their selfless acts of volunteerism.
World Red Cross Day is celebrated around the world in different ways. The Gambia Red Cross Society marked the day by having a press briefing to officially launch their biannual National Youth Bantaba Commission 2018 in August at the Bansan Senior Secondary School in the Central River region. Acting Secretary General of the Gambia Red Cross Society, Mr. Buba Dabo, and Chairperson of the Youth Bantaba Technical Committee, Mr. Dauda Samba, spoke about the importance of the Red Cross and its programs.
Today I want to use this commitment for us to renew our commitment to humanity, our purpose to protect life, health, and ensure respect for human beings under the principles of impartiality. We at the Red Cross make no discrimination as to the nationality, race, religion, belief, class, or political opinion. The work of the Red Cross on internally displaced persons and on the restoration of the missing families is also one of the vital components of the work of the Red Cross.
Bantaba started within the Gambia Red Cross Society in 1998 at Kampant. And since then, either annually or biannually, we've been conducting Bantaba. And this is the 10th International Youth Bantaba. The theme for this year's Bantaba is changing minds, changing lives. The strategy of the Gambia Red Cross Society says the young people, the Youth Commission of the Gambia Red Cross Society, must organize the International Youth Bantaba biannually, every 2 years. And this is why this year, 2018, we are organizing what we are calling the best and probably the most organized International Youth Bantaba.
From the Red Cross building in Kanifing, we journeyed to the town of Birkama, where a major gathering convened to commemorate the occasion under the Birkama chapter. The action-packed event, defined by a euphoric and lively crowd, saw the recognition of Red Cross volunteers for their selfless acts towards humanity and social justice. The slogan for the celebration, "Everywhere for Everyone," is exactly what this humanitarian organization has stood for in the Gambia since 1966. Mr. Modunjai, the Vice Chairman of the West Coast Red Cross branch, spoke to GRTS during the event.
We're also calling on the support of each and everyone, partners, philanthropists, to put their eyes on West Coast region to be able to support them. As you know, that's one of the challenges we are facing.
The Gambia Red Cross Society has been supporting humanitarian causes in the country since the early days of independence. Their positive contribution to society is immeasurable and continues to serve as the benchmark for volunteerism in the Gambia. Reporting for GRTS, I am Modu Jai.
Next, we return to the Vice Presidency for more updates on our busy day of luncheon ceremonies. Earlier, the Vice President Fatoumata Jallow Tambajang held talks with women in the business arena during the important launch of the Sea Trades project. Umin Jai tells us the business meeting seeks to highlight and augment challenges faced by women in business.
From the launch of the roadmap for Youth Empowerment Project earlier on Tuesday came the She Trade Stakeholder Consultation meeting, where women in business gathered to discuss their challenges in doing business. The She Trades project is set to empower women through trade by unlocking their potential in both local and international markets.
This afternoon, it's about zooming in one segment of the economy called women, that in our experience face particular difficulties when they want to participate in international trade. Every small and medium company faces difficulties when participating in international trade, don't get me wrong, but women-owned businesses face obstacles over and above. This is why we in the International Trade Center have decided to take a specific effort to connect women to international trade.
The need to enhance women's participation in business was at the heart of discussions as the Vice President, Aja Fatoumata Jallow Tambajang, stressed the need of moving women from poverty to economic empowerment.
Trade is the answer, and trade is the missing link. We're doing so many things for women, and they're doing things for themselves. But the channel which will leverage the empowerment of women is the She Trades. So we believe that ITC is coming. Their support is timely and appropriate, and we feel that it is going to help government to leverage its commitment to empower women.
The forum saw key business women put across challenges they encounter in their work, with the hope getting a solution from the relevant authorities. Gambian women have been actively contributing to the socio-economic development of the country, standing firm to better the country's food basket. Now, the She Trades project will take a holistic approach that will massively empower Gambian women and connect them to the international business world. This video showcases the story of two women in business and the hurdles they have to overcome. The Trade Minister, whose ministry is crucial to the success of the project, had this to say.
It is essential to building the inclusive society we all want to see. All the issues that we're talking about is about inclusiveness. Women have been left behind. They have been taken for granted. And now the whole world is talking about inclusiveness, leaving no one behind, because we are feeling how bad it is to be discriminated or to be marginalized. And therefore, the whole world is talking about it. They need to take the right steps to make sure that everybody is included. It's very key. I therefore urge all of you women entrepreneurs present here to register, as well as I would call on every woman entrepreneur present today to mentor a group of women from the urban and rural areas to increase the statistics of the billions we are calling for.
This forum will serve as a networking tool in empowering women, and the information generated from the synergy will help articulate the government's policies concerning women empowerment. Umin Jai, GRTS.
Okay. Now Ramadan is almost here, and ahead of the holy month, when Muslims across the world observe fasting. The Chinese embassy in Banjul presented valuable food items and 4 sewing machines to the West Coast community of Kobune. The gesture comes amidst a partnership between the embassy and the Kobune cultural troupe. Ibrahim Jallo has this story.
The Chinese embassy presented 500 kilograms of rice and the same quantity of sugar, 105 liter gallons of cooking oil and 4 electric sewing machines to the people of Kobune. The gesture, according to the Chinese ambassador Zhang Jiming, was in appreciation of an entertaining performance by the Kobune cultural troupe during celebrations of the Chinese New Year.
So today we are here to reciprocate the visit of goodwill and friendship. And we are aware that the Ramadan is a time of togetherness. This is the moment to highlight the spirit of sharing and caring.
The National Assembly member for Kusumbala constituency, Honorable Sheikh Bajad, was behind the fruitful partnership. He described Chinese people as good friends of the Gambia and hoped that the partnership will strengthen for mutual benefits, especially on cultural exchange.
They said they can have and present a little token to the community of Kobune, especially to the women group that went to celebrate the New Year with them as the Ramadan gift. So from the ambassador and his people, they said Ramadan Mubarak to everybody.
The village head Ibutamba and Fatu Tendeng spoke of their appreciation of the gesture and commended the Chinese for the support. They said the items, including the sewing machines, were needed to boost the capacity of this community's sewing center. Meanwhile, the community has also voiced concern about the poor conditions of the road, making it difficult to access hospitals and markets, especially in the rainy season. The Busumbala parliamentarian said he was equally concerned about the road, linking communities in the area, and that any support to better the condition would be appreciated. The ceremony ended with visit to the community school, health center and fishing sites. Ibrahim Jallo, GRTS News.
News from outside the Gambia is up next after this break. Do stay with us.
neex cafka gu am solo sa biir gémmiñ ak fiirtaange gu amul fenn la Top Saho drink bu ees bi ñu tënk ko ci 33 cent litre di la jox ma ne saa yu njaboot gi daje di lekk Top Saho drink nga fa génn ndax bànneex ak kontaante gu am solo laa indil njaboot gi yëpp Top Saho drink fees del ak vitamine C moo gën pour njaboot gi Top Saho drink ak a neex ma ne saa yu amee jotaay mbégte sëy wala taka Top Saho drink nga ci génn ndax dafa neexal torop sa feet ñëpp di ci bànneexu ma ne ñamal see Top Saho fruit drink si ñu am ko ci flavors yu bari demee na ci orange mango ak yeneen tropical fruit flavors Top Saho am na lactic drinks tamit mu fees del ak vitamine C ak calcium Top Saho am na yogurt fruits tamit tamarind juice di energy drink bu laa jox doole bu amul fenn ma ne ñamal xeeti Top Saho fruit drinks yi nga xam ne ute naa ki fi nekk Top Saho drinks yi nag ñu leen ko indil di top food te top food amul werante mu gën ci Afrika.
Can you get half the price, double the data, and 10 times the speed?
Yes, only with AfriCell. Your favorite GSM operator, AfriCell, has done it again. AfriCell has brought you an unbeatable offer. Buy a MiFi router or a data card for half the price, double the megabytes, and get a speed 10 times faster.
Yes! Get a MiFi router today for only $2,000 and get 4 gigabytes of internet data for free. This is what the company with the fastest internet speed in the country can do.
Say what?
And that's not all. You can also buy a data card for only $1,500 and get 2 gigabytes of internet data for free.
This is an offer no one dares to match.
Where AfriCell goes, no one has the speed to follow.
Welcome back. African finance ministers are meeting in the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa. They are discussing ways of implementing the Continental Free Trade Area Agreement and addressing some macroeconomic concerns. CGTN's Jerome Chala has the story.
Ministers of Finance are here to map out ways of implementing what is to be the biggest single African market the world has ever seen. Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed told the ministers here it is time to commit for a cause that delivers for the people of Africa.
The Continental Free Trade Agreement should be shaped and implemented so as to enable Africa to create opportunities for its citizenry, to spur our industrialization agenda, to ensure inclusive development for all Africans, in particular women and the youth. Together we will grow. Together we will give our young people a stake in the future of our continent.
This four-day event aims to advance the ambitious initiative to form a regional common market which could boost intra-Africa trade from its current level of 16% to 52% by 2022. The United Nations Economic Commission for Africa believes that is possible through economic Pan-Africanism.
Africa is growing again, but we are not growing as fast as we grew before. We are not growing at 6%, and we are not growing at numbers that rival Ethiopia's growth at 8.8%. We need to do better as a continent if we are going to provide jobs for our youth. And this new economic Pan-Africanism is really about ensuring that we can create the kinds of jobs that ensure that the youth can be employed. It is not necessarily only jobs in the manufacturing sector. We know that the service sector is also growing and growing very fast on the continent. The CFTA is also a lot about the service sector and how the service sector will provide the jobs that are needed for the youth.
Commission for Africa, that was a wonderful.
The African Union sees the Continental Free Trade Area more than a success in the area of trade. It believes the CFTA can unite the fragmented African states into one.
As the rest of the world appears to get more fractured, we must advance our integration agenda and advance from 55 fragmented economies into a larger market with the prospect of a combined GDP of over $3 billion annually. And if you look at the forecast from intra-African trade simulations, CFTA will increase the consumer spending to 1.4 trillion by 2020, and similarly increase intra-African trade by as much as 35 billion per year.
For both the AU and the UNECA, the most important and urgent action is to create the fiscal space to foster public and private investment while ensuring economic diversification with a view to creating jobs. And the Continental Free Trade Area Agreement is needed to focus on realizing that an average African is benefited out of it. Group Dala CGTN, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
Now, since March 30th, hundreds of Palestinians were reportedly killed during demonstrations along the Gaza border. The first protests, with dozens killed and many more injured, came on the day the U.S. transferred its embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to the disputed city of Jerusalem. The move infuriated Palestinians and has been widely condemned by the international community. More of that in this report.
Another round of violence at the Israel-Gaza border fence. The bloodiest in months. In just one day, the number of Palestinians killed and injured has nearly matched all the casualties in the past 2 months.
Our Zionist enemy is afraid to leave his weapon and face us unarmed. It's our right to breach the Israeli border because it's not Israeli. It's Palestinian land that has been forcibly taken from us.
Here at the eastern Gaza border with Israel, scores came to rally in what has been dubbed as the Grand Return March. Across the border fence, protesters separate in attempts to breach the border. Palestinians of all ages came to join or watch the demonstration. Some parents have brought their kids.
What is happening in Gaza is an inevitable result to the fact that Israeli occupation is trying to impose on us to establish its state on more Palestinian land. It is a must for these youth to revolt in this manner.
On May 15th, Palestinians will observe Nakba, the Arab word for catastrophe, when more than 700,000 Palestinians lost their lands to Israel in 1948. Earlier protests were also sparked by U.S. Embassy's move to Jerusalem from Tel Aviv.
The number of casualties is growing quickly, and it seems so far that it has by far exceeded the total casualties seen in the past few weeks. And to many Palestinians, this is just the beginning. The least they say that they can express the magnitude of irritation they've seen from the United States moving its embassy while they mark 70 years in occupation. Adel Mahroui, CGTN, from the Gaza-Israeli fence border.
And before we take leave of you, a recap of our top stories. Advancing the infrastructural transformation agenda, His Excellency President Adama Barrow has toured proposed sites for bridges that will link both banks of the Upper River region. Building strategies for youth and women's empowerment, Vice President Aja Fatumata Jallow Tambajang has presided over the launching of the Youth and Trade Roadmap. Raising road safety awareness, public health students have joined forces with police and civil society organizations to celebrate Road Safety Week. And paving the way towards free trade, African finance ministers are meeting in Addis Ababa for the implementation of the Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. And diplomatic flurry in Jerusalem. Amid rising tensions in Gaza, dozens of Palestinians have been killed and many more injured in fresh clashes as the U.S. transfers its Israeli embassy to the disputed city of Jerusalem. That was all in this edition of the news. Thanks for the pleasure of your company, and do stay with us here on GRTS.
I'm G, and I'm in Bruceby right now. I use AfriCell 4G because it has the fastest speed and the widest coverage. I'm going to show you why I choose AfriCell. This is my phone. It has a real 4G SIM card from AfriCell. And here's the same exact phone with another 4G SIM card from a different network. Let's do a speed test. Wow! I'm getting full coverage with my AfriCell that reads 80.4 Mbps, and this one is getting like 13.65. This is proof that AfriCell by far has the fastest speed and the widest coverage.
So hurry and go replace your AfriCell SIM card with the real 4G SIM cards.
Where AfriCell goes, no one has the speed to follow.
Have y'all heard Romeo Bruceby and Gamcell are raffling off this car and other prizes to make them different?
No, honey, I'm gonna win the car.
Money, I'm gonna win this car.
I'm gonna win it.
I'm gonna win the brand new car. I'm going to win it. The more you text, the more chances you win.
Every SMS costs $10. Your SMS will save someone's life.
Make a difference. Text 900.
Make a difference. Text star to 900.
Gamcell, jij bottle.
As the sporting world gears up to the world's most famous sporting event, the FIFA World Cup, the national broadcaster GRTS will be airing the FIFA World Cup games live from Moscow, Russia. The 2018 FIFA World Cup will be the 21st edition and is scheduled to take place in Russia from 14th of June to 15th of July 2018 across 11 cities in Russia. The African continent will be represented by 5 teams: the Teranga Lions of Senegal, the Pharaohs of Egypt, the Atlas Lions of Morocco, Super Eagles of Nigeria, and Les Aigles de Carthage of Tunisia. The tournament Nelson unleashed talent from across the world as football stars lead their countries to victory. To be a sponsor of the World Cup Football Tournament 2018, live broadcast on GRTS. Call our commercial department on 4377214 or 4378775.
So I figured I would read Quran, cause I didn't want mama thinking that I took the wrong path. Now I'm making tawbah, alhamdulillah I'm growing strong. I be fast and praying to Allah, I'm getting closer in this month of Rahmah.
During Ramadan, GRTS brings you different Ramadan programs.
To the sound of the adhan.
We will be in our studios to explore with you with different heart-piercing Islamic songs. You will have the chance to send in your text messages to request for your favorite Islamic songs and send greetings to your family and loved ones.
We pray, let's feed the poor, alhamdulillah.
Ramadan Nasheed, every Saturday from 3 to 4 p.m. on GRTS.
We're breaking our fast to the sound of the adhan. And I'm so
Ramadan Nasheed with me, Aminata E. Sanyan, and by Ibrahim Cham.
time to purify your soul. The blessed month has come. Let's read Quran.